Thank you to everyone who showed up today. This month's webinar, our theme is maximizing revenue from your subscribers. And so, go ahead. We wanted to first talk a little bit about why we chose this topic. So we know that all the equipment that you guys use as ISPs, from your towers, your access points, everything you might have in between, these are all different parts that are going to help make your network money. So why not talk about how CPEs can make you money as well? And then we want to talk about why are we as Vilo Living talking about this subject? And I know we say this a lot. It's on our website. It's in our sales pitch. You'll hear it from all of us, but we do feel that Billow is not just a vendor, but we are really a partner for you guys as ISPs. And we are a partner that provides the piece of equipment that's kind of most interacted with by your customers. So turn off your volume. Sorry. Are you sure? Sorry, technical difficulties.
I did.
Okay. Yeah. So like we're saying, there are a lot of important pieces of equipment that are in your network. You guys have towers, access points, a lot of things that are a lot more important in actually getting that internet to your customer's home. But what's that one piece of equipment that they're going to see in their house, that they're going to yell at, unplug, restart, that they're going to interact with the most? And that is the router. So we want to make sure that your subscribers having a positive experience with Vilo, and that's on us to make sure that our products are up to par. And then also that you as a service provider, you're getting the most out of this equipment. So that's from the piece of equipment itself and the partnership we can provide to you in that regard, but then also how much money are you going to be making off of this? And then just a little something that we like to say, or I like to say, I think I might have stole this from John. If I did, I'll give credit where credit is due. But don't undersell yourself. Just because you're the little guy doesn't mean you have to be the cheaper guy. So we're going to talk about several different ways today that you can maximize your subscribers' revenue. I'm going to go over a few of the ways that we've seen ISPs being able to make money, that we've been able to help ISPs increase their revenue. And then we're also going to talk with two ISPs that are currently using Billow, and how they have seen an increase in their revenue and a decrease in their time to ROI by implementing Billow as their go-to solution. I will ask that if you do have any questions, please hold them until the end. We're going to make sure we have plenty of time for Q&A. So getting right into it, our first slide, we're talking about reducing initial setup costs with an affordable option. So this is probably one of the most obvious ways that you guys can reduce your costs and increase your ROI. Vilo is proud to be one of the most affordable options on the market. Depending on your location and how many you are purchasing, Vilos can get as low as $25.99 per unit. So if we're comparing that with similar Wi-Fi 5 models, for the hardware alone, you're going to be instantly saving money. And then we have our subscriber app, which is free. You're able to offer that out as a solution to your subscribers. And then, of course, we have our ISP management portal. That's also currently free. And even when we do start charging that, it's going to be it'll be in line with our company values, that we make everything, like we said, we're partners, we're ISPs, so we make everything an affordable option to ISPs of all sizes. So let's go into a little more detail about how else you guys can increase your ROI. So one of the biggest ways that we find it's easiest for ISPs to make some additional money is to rent out additional units. A lot of bigger companies do this, and I know that ISPs steer away from this idea because of that. They don't want to be like the Comcast, Verizon, and just rent out a unit. So if you are scared to do that, first of all, we say don't be. A lot of people are used to it, so you have that in your favor. They're going to be okay with paying to rent a unit. Also, what we've seen work really well for a lot of our ISPs is that they give the first unit for free. and then rent out additional units for a monthly price. So depending on the size of your subscriber's home, you can easily rent out an additional 1 to 2 units for $4, $5, up to $10 a month, however you see fit for your audience. And this is a quick and easy way for you to get that little additional monthly revenue coming in, and then you're going to see a quicker ROI on those installation costs. And I'll go into this a little bit more later, but we also have created a lot of marketing materials to help explain the power of mesh to your subscribers so that you're able to sell them on this idea. It's not just another router that sits in the corner of their home, but it's really going to cover their whole home with internet. It's going to lead to less support calls, less issues on their end. They're not going to be stuck in the toilet, not watching TikToks, but they're going to have that full home coverage. So this is a really quick and easy way for you to upsell and increase your ROI. Another point that we always like to talk about is offering a managed Wi-Fi service. So this is going to enhance your subscriber experience. So right off the bat, you're going to have happier customers, and a happy customer happily pays. And then this also helps with the idea of them paying monthly for that piece of equipment. It's no longer just paying for a box, but it's paying for a service. So they can easily log into their Vilo app. They can check and monitor their own network. They can see their SSID and password. They can change that if they need to. They can configure parental controls, set up guest Wi-Fi networks. They can see devices, device usage. So this is taking it from you just putting internet in their home, but now you're giving them a managed Wi-Fi solution that they can self-manage. And then you as the ISP will also have insights on the back end so that you're providing them with even more information. And then another way, and this is probably our biggest one, that you can increase your ROI is saving on truck rolls and support costs. So by using our remote management platform, you're able to quickly diagnose and troubleshoot a lot of issues that your subscribers are going to run into. You can perform speed tests, you can remotely reboot routers, you can view connected devices, detect channel interference, you can change channels, you can push firmware upgrades. And this is really just the tip of the iceberg of the features that you can do in the management portal. And this alone is going to save you so much money in truck rolls. When that customer calls in, they're saying they're having really bad coverage in X room in this part of the house, the Wi-Fi is not working. You can go into your portal, see what that root cause is, see if it's something you can fix remotely. It's going to save you time. It's going to save you money. We're going to hear some really cool examples in our interviews later of how this has helped several of our ISPs as well. But that reduction in truck rolls and support costs is going to ultimately lead to a greater ROI for you as the ISP as well. And then got one more slide for you guys. So yeah, in line with, I touched on this earlier, this is all great and dandy, right? I've spit out a bunch of information at you about selling more to your subscribers, using the ISP portal, getting them to pay more money. But how are you going to charge your subscribers more money? First, they need to trust you. And how can you earn their trust? So two of the biggest ways that we've seen to be successful is educating your subscribers. Like we said, what is mesh? Why would they benefit from mesh? Why should they rent more units from you? Why is a managed Wi-Fi service better? What does that mean that you're, have insights into their back end? So educating your subscribers on what all of these services mean, why they're important, and why it's worth it to them to pay for these things. And then communicating with them in line with that, having, regular check-ins with them, being consistent on social media or online to make them aware that you are there for them. How do we help with this? We provide you guys with what we call our go-to-market kit. We love to help our ISPs market to their subscribers. We provide you guys with content for your newsletters, for your social media posts, for your websites. Here's just few quick little examples of some of our ISPs that they rent out the Vilo units or upsell them to their subscribers and what they have done on their websites or with their flyers. we have a lot more examples we can share with you. If anyone is interested in accessing our go-to-market kit, feel free to contact us. We'll happily share that out with you and help you set up your content to share with your subscribers. So without further ado, my favorite part of this webinar, we're going to get into our interviews. So first up, we have John Gill, which I'm sure many of you know. John was one of our first ISPs to start using Vilo, and he actually helped us kind of like convert Vilo into an ISP product. And he's seen a lot of success implementing it with his subscribers and using Vilo to increase his ROI. So, John, you're there, yeah?
Yeah, I'm here.
You're here and ready for me. So yeah, John, let's get started with a little bit about your company, your setup, what you're offering to your subscribers, where you're located, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so I'm located in Kentucky. I run Kentucky Fi. It is a small WISP that's based in one county. And there we go. With it being based in one county, it would sound like it would be easy to do, but it's actually not. We have a lot of rolling hills and deep valleys and things like that. But so I started using Billow. It was pretty funny. I remember going through some messages to Billow, and I remember asking a few questions when I first saw Billow in a CNET article. And in that CNET article, I said, this sounds like something, because before then I was using air cubes, both the ISP version and the AC version. And when using those air cubes, they did pretty good, but they didn't have very good range. And that's what I was looking for. So when I saw Vilo had a solution for $30, I said, you know what, I'm going to give it a try. I've spent money on stupider things. So I did. I purchased it, and I was very happy with the product, and I noticed that it had extreme potential in the ISP space, but it needed some work. So I reached out to the team members and got to know Ella by talking to her through Facebook. And before one thing led to another, they started implementing solutions that I talked about. And then they said, well, where should we go to meet more people like you? And I said, Wispapalooza. And so they went out to Wispapalooza. I met them there. It was Amy and Man that were out there. They were awesome. And they had this little kiosk with barely enough room for 2 chairs. And they were one of the most busiest booths there. And it was very interesting. And in the space, people didn't know who it was. And it was something that we see a lot in our space. Oh, we don't know who you are, so let's wait and see what happens. So I decided to take the leap and put Vilo, started deploying it. And every time I would find some bugs, the team would be very, very happy to fix them, very active. Some bugs would be fixed overnight. And you try reaching out to Cambium, Ubiquity, TP-Link, any of these people that are out in the space and get a bug fixed overnight. It doesn't happen. And so I saw their potential there too. They saw the potential in the ISP space, and it was an awesome match made in heaven. And now, they're a big player in the ISP space.
Yeah, thank you. And thanks to you, we've made it this far. So were you offering any kind of managed Wi-Fi solutions before, or were you evaluating any other mesh Wi-Fi options?
I was evaluating some mesh Wi-Fi options, but they were the typical ones that were out in the market already, the Google Wi-Fis. Ubiquity had one in the Amplify series, but all those were $300-400 solutions that were way above what I was willing to put into a customer's home, and just the ROI time was way out. So, that's on top of the rest of the CPE stuff that you have to put into a customer's home. And so, I did some of some of the routers, the ACs, I called them the pro routers, and there was an additional $5 fee a month for them to kind of recoup some of the cost of going into a customer's home.
Sure.
But you know, when you're looking at an AC router that's costing you $80, and then you're getting a Vilo router that a 3-pack is costing you $80, I would put my money, you know, in the smart solution.
For sure. So on that line, how do you currently incorporate Billow into your business model, and how did you kind of come up with this? Was there some testing and tried out different things? How did you land on what you currently do with Billow?
Yeah, there was definitely testing. You know, I like to test, and test, whether that be my customers that I have across the street from me, where I can walk over to their house and troubleshoot anything within 5 minutes, or whether that be you know, a customer that's been my loudest cheerleader, and I want to give them the latest and greatest product. So, you know, that's kind of how I test things, because, you know, you could do 1,000 lab tests, but until you put something out in the wild, it really doesn't show its true colors or true potential there. I think, yeah, just testing. And then when I put Billows out there, it really did work for the price.
Nice. And so how do you market them to your subscribers, and what kind of business model do you use? Do you rent them out? Do you give them?
Yes, it's a I call it Morfi. Get more Wi-Fi throughout your home. I think you may have seen that in the previous slide. But with Morfi, it's very easy to sell, because the other competitors, I keep all of my competitors' ads, and I suggest anyone in the space do the same thing. Anytime they get an ad from a competitor, keep it, because you can see how those ads change. And I noticed in all of my competitors' ads, you know, if you got their latest, greatest gig plan or whatever, they would give you free managed routers for a year. And then after that, each router cost an additional $10. And so it just became this weird marketing thing. And that's when I noticed, hey, everyone else in the space is doing it, I need to as well. But if you got their lower package, you had to pay for them. So, you know, that's kind of how I market it, is, you know, here's Morfi. And, you know, you'll always break the ice with talking about, you know, are you having troubles watching TikTok while you're on the toilet? Because it brings a smile to everyone's face.
Yeah.
So, you know, that kind of
stole that line from you, as you heard.
Yeah. It really does break the ice. It really does get the conversation started. And once the conversation started, and once they're comfortable with you, you're immediately able to hook the customer into going, well, I have a solution for you. Because at the end of the day, no matter if it's Vilo or an ISP or the guy picking up your trash, we're all problem solvers. And so we have to find problems for the customer. And if that problem is watching TikToks on the toilet, then let's solve it.
Yeah, I like that. So you, with your Morfi package, you, I think you rent out the units. Is that correct?
Yes, I do rent out the units. You know, when a customer asks, what does that include? That includes unit replacement. That includes remote monitoring. And I always do dictate that says remote monitoring is the health status. That does not monitor your data. That's monitors the health of your network. So that way, in case something goes offline, we know before you do. And 99% of the time, that is the scenario, is I know when a customer is having internet problems before they do.
And so, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was done.
I was going to say, so you use the portal to your benefit to offer like a managed solution for them.
Yes, the portal is part of my set of tools that I use. I would say there isn't a day that goes by that I'm not in the portal. I'm not in Libre NMS or UISP or the portal. That's just part of your toolkit to make sure everything works throughout the day.
Very cool. And then what are the results that you've seen from this, as far as like take rate, feedback from your customers, revenue increase, cost reduction? How good has it been for your business?
Billow's become so good for my business that it's truly is now the only router I sell. I've gotten away from, I still have stock floating around. So when a customer leaves me that had an air cube, I'll get an air cube back, but I haven't gone and bought another brand of router. And now it's just all Billows. If a customer doesn't want a mesh solution, they get one Billow. They don't have to pay for it. It's the free one, like you were talking about. That makes it so much easier when the customer calls and has problems with the TV or, with the back bedroom or something like that. Makes it so much easier for me to go, okay, yeah, we can add 2 more units to your house. It's only an extra $10 a month. That's it. And I just go in there, hit the mesh button. I'm in and out of their house in less than 30 minutes.
Awesome. And I think you've said before, you have like a pretty high take rate when you offer kind of like upselling or the managed solution.
Oh yeah, definitely. And that it really truly does help keeping up with the competition, because 99% of the time, if I have the ads, my customers I'm getting to have the ads. And in those ads, I can show them, hey, after this long, you're going to pay for that, or you're already paying for it. Or my favorite is the customer definitely is already my competition. And they're like, yeah, Windstream's charging me this much for this device or this much for this device. Or the new thing they're doing is if you don't return their router, or you don't return their modem, they're charging the customer $100 for non-modem return. So, when I come home, I pass Windstream's not headquarters, but Windstream's office here, and I happily drop off those modems for the customer, just as an additional thing to help the customers out and make them smile, and makes me smile too, returning the competition equipment.
It's a little jab. Makes you feel better.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Very cool. And what is your average time to ROI on a new subscriber?
On a new subscriber with AC gear and run-of-the-mill CPE. So that's my run-of-the-mill CPEs is a Vilo, some kind of AC gear, whether that be a power beam, a light beam, something along those lines. If I'm doing a free install special, it's 6 months. If they pay for the install, which is usually about $100, it's less than 3.
Okay.
So it just depends on, hey, can I take the jab this month, or do I need to push a little bit to get leads? So.
Right. Very cool. And then is there any other advice that you would want to share to an ISP that's looking to increase their ROI?
Yeah. Take the chance, crunch the numbers. It's as simple as if your competition's doing it, they're doing it for a reason. Just the same as if you go to buy a car and you need a cosigner, the bank's asking for a reason. So, everyone does everything for a reason. And I believe that, being that guy that doesn't charge for the modem is not the way you will help out your customer or be better for your customer. The way you can help out your customer is doing better support, having a better network, having a more stable infrastructure than your competition. And that's the way to do it. And you will get so much more praise. You will get so many more customers that way, as opposed to saying, oh, I'm not going to charge you $10 a month.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you, John, for your time and your insights. As always, it's always great hearing from you, talking with you. So our next interview, he actually couldn't be here today, but we pre-recorded and I spoke with him yesterday. His name is Adam Hart. He's the leader of operations and sales at Get Us Communications, which is an ISP located in Canada. I won't say too much more because he is going to tell you everything else you will need to know. Give me 1 second and we'll get that playing for you guys. So our first question today is, tell us a little bit about your company, your setup, your approximate subscribers, and what services you offer.
Yeah, not a problem. So we here at Geddes, we're actually a TPIA internet provider, which is a third-party internet provider within Canada. We actually service coast to coast with cable, DSL on the business side, a little bit of fiber, but primarily cable is our main go-to for internet services. We also offer, home phone, TV, and a whole slew of business services. Our customer base ranges roughly about a little over 10,000 subscribers on the residential side and even a few hundred more on the business side. So yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you.
Perfect. No problem.
And how did you guys first hear about Billow?
So that's actually a really funny question. So when we first started looking for an alternative, like an alternative to the normal products that were being offered in the Canadian market a little while ago. A little while ago, mesh in Canada wasn't really a thing. There was a couple providers, they were really expensive, and the hardware was kind of, it was good, but it wasn't worth $200-300, right? So that being what it was, we started looking for a provider that could meet our company needs to be able to effectively, push it out to our customers, as well as meet our customers' needs for, that excellent Wi-Fi mesh system that they're going to need to have that excellent experience. And while doing the research to try and find somebody within Canada, I stumbled across a advertisement in like a tech magazine, which was comparing, the TP links, the Eros, and then Vilo. And Vilo wasn't even on my radar of the products to look into. I was checking into the decos and all of those things. And I seen Billow. I looked at the specifications, did, a little bit of comparisons in regards to the specs. And pretty much after seeing, the specs relating roughly, in comparison to the same kind of product, even to the Eero, it was fairly the same. Like it was relatively really close, other than, Wi-Fi 6 and stuff. So just that right there was a no-brainer to reach out, request a demo. Myself, our CEO, we put it in our homes, did some extensive testing on them to see, what they could do. And after that, it was just a no-brainer.
Very cool. So that kind of answers the next question. Why did you decide to start deploying Billows, or what sold you on Billow?
So it does, but there is a little bit more that sold us. So yeah, absolutely. The specs being, the same as the competition, the price being, technically really competitive in the market for that residential user to be able to afford. But one of the big things for us was actually being able to partner so closely with Vilo and being able to speak to Amy and Man in regards to our company needs and things that the ISP portal may need to be able to serve our customers, as well as we demand.
Very cool. That's awesome to hear. So you had said that you were looking into or evaluating other Wi-Fi solutions. Did you previously offer managed Wi-Fi? And then were you evaluating a lot of other of our competitors, or what was that kind of backstory?
Well, to be honest, we were looking into, we never at the time, we never actually offered any Wi-Fi managed solutions. We primarily always used, for cable, we always used like a 2-in-1 modem. Our customers always were under the, influence less hardware is the best way to go. It's easier.
Sure. Yeah.
But unfortunately, their demand for less hardware was overshadowed by their demand for extremely, proficient Wi-Fi, which those two things don't go together. You're either getting, one or you're getting the other, unfortunately. So when we were looking into it, we looked into Eero, Deco, I forget. There was one other one that we were kind of looking into and evaluating. Technically, moving over to the Vilo was a success for us to actually provide what our customers need.
Awesome. Cool. So in line with that, how do you currently incorporate Billows into your business model, and how did you come up with this business model or way of doing things?
So that's a good question. So we brought Vilo in as our way to help cut costs on support and to provide a seamless and simple Wi-Fi experience for our customers. We were able to quickly identify, once we had a few hundred units live, that our customers actually were not calling us for support. But if they did, we were able to actually effectively help them in a faster time frame, which was cutting our talk times, which was reducing our support calls. And we roughly seen around a 39% decrease in our overall support costs.
Wow.
Which was nice, right? Because in reality, when you're trying to bring it in to your business model, you want to also keep your prices down. You want to, there's a lot you want to try and do there.
Sure.
So when you see it cut somewhere else, you can move that money somewhere else to help technically bring it in to meet your customers' needs.
Very cool. And what was your go-to-market strategy with your subscribers in Billow?
To be honest, our marketing strategy was pretty close to the emails you guys have been sending out. We proposed an easily set up and managed Wi-Fi solution that has the capability to cover your entire home. That was really our go-to with it, because marketing on the dead zones, the other things that are usually huge problems with, say, 2-in-1 modems, which are widely used in our industry, and not having those problems, those are what people are searching for, right? Yeah,
for sure. Cool. And then what are the results that you've seen so far? This could be in terms of subscriber success, business success, or reducing costs, setup costs, those kind of things.
We have had great results so far with new subs getting Billow. Anyone that our new subs that are getting Billow, everything we do is loaned. So every new sub is getting a Billow in their home. If they wanted to do, expand because they have a huge house, those ones aren't loaned, but they are at a supremely low cost to help supply an excellent customer experience. But as well, if we're seeing customers that are having continuous issues, we are actually, trying to get Billow into their homes again at no cost to the customer. So we found, again, since support is actually one of those, in our industry, support is one of those things that actually cost a ton of money but makes no revenue. Right? So to be able to cut down on our support costs by getting Billow into everyone's home, or as many as we can, to see that 39% hopefully increase, we were able to, cut our costs significantly on the support side, like I said, by about 39%. And then again, we don't have customers calling us, which is happier customers overall. Sure. And then it actually helped us decrease our call times and everything else, right, that we want to see as a business.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. So I think you said you loan them out, but you don't charge for the initial one. So, and then you rent additional units. Is that correct?
Yes, I guess. Yes, that is true. So what we do is every new sign up, we do a loaned Vilo on us. And then anyone who would like an additional Vilo to cover, that bigger home, we use the recommendation of 1,000 square feet. We know it can do a little bit better, but we like to have and make sure that there's overlap.
Yeah.
Just again, we don't like to have a poor experience at all. So we get them into people's homes on the new setups, as well as we do technically a rental per unit after that.
Okay, cool. And then what is your average time to see ROI on a new subscriber?
Roughly 2 months.
Wow, that's pretty quick.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we have a lot. We've been in the game for a long time. And myself, I've been doing this for a little over 11 years. So we've been able to really make things work the best for our company so that we can keep our costs as low as possible for our customers.
Yeah. And would you say that the price point that Billow is at has had an impact on that as well?
The price, yeah. I mean, to be honest, the price point in comparison to other mesh systems, Billow is still much lower. Even after you guys did a price increase a little while back, yeah. It's still much lower than other providers, and that's not even like you're paying for hardware. That's something that anyone should expect when they're in this industry. Hardware is one of the biggest upfront issues with being an ISP is the cost. Yeah. But Vilo works to try and keep that cost as low as possible, but still provide an excellent product. And not just that, we're actually seeing an even better decrease with the managed ISP portal, because they give you technically right now it's still in beta, so it's completely open. Everything that is put in there is you're able to use, you're able to utilize, and there's no cost, right? So no cost on the ISP portal is not something that the other ones are kind of doing, really. So I know it could change in the future when it releases out of beta, but I mean, with the way Vilo works, most of the time I could see there still being a free version. So, which is fantastic. It's another reason, again, Vilo is not just thinking of themselves, they're thinking of everyone that partners with them. Yeah,
for sure. That is, we say that on our website and we try to live by it every day. We are a partner you can trust. And yeah, we're in this with you guys, trying to make it doable for you. Yeah.
That's literally like as our company motto is with anyone we partner with. Like, we're your partner, we're not your competitor. We're here to grow together, and it's one of the major reasons why we went with Vilo.
Yeah, I think you've already answered my other question about like how you save time on truck rolls and support calls. We really already touched on that. Unless there is anything that you want to add to that point.
Well, in the TPIA world, it's a lot different than WISP. So WISP providers, they actually control their trucks. They pay for their trucks. They pay for the technicians. In our world of things, we actually rely on Shaw, Rogers, Bell to go out and do things for us. But with that comes usually a poor and a very, very, very poor experience on the customer's behalf. Because a lot of the time they're not there for us. They're just there to get them working and leave. And they're only responsible for the outside connection. They're not going to go in and play with your routers and stuff, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So with that, I mean, customers expect that white glove, you know what I mean? Come in, get everything working, make sure my TV works, that kind of stuff. Yeah. So our truck rolls don't do that. So when we can avoid those, it actually keeps our customer satisfaction up. As well as, again, when we get these into people's homes, we don't really hear from them because 90% of most tech issues are Wi-Fi related, especially on cable internet or fiber, that kind of stuff.
Cool. That is fantastic. Last question. Is there any other advice that you would want to share to an ISP looking to increase their ROI?
To be honest, I think no. I mean, in reality, I just say, pair with Vilo. It's pretty self-explanatory on what you're going to see from the product. It's going to decrease your ROI by many different avenues. And as the ISP portal grows, it's going to grow towards your business needs with your business. So you can make it what you want since it's in beta version.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. It's an easy decision. Go with Vilo.
I'm going to have to put like a disclaimer. I didn't pay you to say that. That's completely organic.
It was.
You just love Billow that much.
I honestly don't have anything bad I would ever say about Billow. I mean, we're really like, we've been working together for a little while now
Yeah.
to help get you guys into Canada. And I can say, like, we love the product. Our distributor our distributor portion, they love the product. And I mean, the only thing we ever hear about the product is when is Wi-Fi 6 coming out, right?
Yeah.
You know, technically in Canada, it's not something that's widely needed.
Sure.
Because there's not too many speeds that are over a gig, so it's not huge. And to be honest, most people don't need anything over 500 meg. Like, you don't really need anything over like 250. So, you know what I mean?
But they always want the bigger
and better.
Yeah.
It's why you have them, right? So eventually when Wi-Fi 6 comes out, it's one of those things where you don't want to, you know, roll it out to all your customers. You're going to want to keep your ROI low there because it will be more expensive, and just have it as that third option. Hey, you want to go for a higher speed, you're going to need a higher router. Is that something you want to do? Because if so, it's going to cost this much instead of, you know, loaned. But it is one of those things that you want to provide. You know, you don't want to be the person that doesn't have access to those speeds. Yeah. Just in case.
True.
It's great.
Cool. Yeah.
So I hope the interview lived up to your expectations.
It was perfect. You had so many great things to say, and I appreciate your time so much. All right. Thank you guys for listening to my recorded voice for 15 minutes. So yeah, that does conclude everything that we had to share with you guys. Hopefully you found those interviews informative and helpful. And we did want to open it up. If anyone did have any questions, comments, feel free to use the chat option on Zoom, just so we avoid everyone trying to talk over each other. Yeah, but thank you all so much for attending. Like I said, if you did want to access our go-to-market kit, or if you want any further information about Vilo, how you can start implementing Vilo for you and your subscribers, please feel free to reach out to us. We will send follow-up emails after this webinar as well. Yeah, we'll leave the Zoom open for a little while if anyone has any questions. Thank you, John, for sharing your experience as well.
Not a problem.
Hey, Ella, there were a few questions around the go-to-market kit. I think we'll send that after.
Yes, responding. Yeah. I just said I will respond. Yeah, I'll email that out to everyone that's in attendance. Bo is going to show part of it as well. He was just pulling that up. But yeah, we will email that out to everyone in attendance and help get you guys set up with what you need for marketing Vilos. Excited to start handing these out. Awesome. Congrats, Scott. Just received your first shipment. Yeah, so this is some of the things included in our go-to-market kit. We also provide you with like assets, images of the Vilos, like our lifestyle images, copy that you can use for newsletters, for brochures, post installation emails to send out to your subscribers so they know how to use the Vilo app. Yeah, hand out on information about how to use different features, and then some templates for social media. We also have lots of support docs that we'll share with you that you can share with your subscribers so they know how to set up kernel controls, guest networks, all those kind of things. So yeah, we'll send this out to all you guys in attendance. I'll give you access to that.
There was a question about GPON support or GPON setup. So right now we don't have, because we're focused on expanding our Wi-Fi 6 product line. And so the Wi-Fi 6 product line will be pretty similar to like the Wi-Fi 5, like 3 gigabit ports. And then, yeah, I think we're going to start evaluating doing more stuff with fiber, just because, yeah, a lot of our customers are now doing fiber installs. So yeah, it could change in the next few months or so. GPON is are you thinking it would be something similar to like UFiber? Got it. Yeah. Yeah, that's not currently on our roadmap, but I think it's something we can definitely evaluate.
And do we ship to Puerto Rico ourselves, Amy, or do one of our distributors?
We currently don't ship to Puerto Rico, but we're looking into it for our website. But I think ISP Supplies and Flytech both ship to Puerto Rico, and they're, we distribute through them.
I think I can answer Sean's question. Yeah, all of my deployments are Vilo, even the one I just installed today. Honestly, I've always had my routers reboot nightly, so I have never seen an issue of my routers needed to be reboot. There's some Billows, the customer didn't like it, so I turned the feature off. But I would say most of my Billows do reboot about 3 to 4 o'clock in the morning. But that is my maintenance window. That is in the contract. That is, that's when my maintenance window is between 2 to 4 a.m. So, when automatic updates are turned on, that's when they're done. Anything network wise is done. Oh, okay. So they still need to be rebooted. Interesting. I would just check firmware and everything. I have not had that problem. No customers ever called me saying that they've gone offline or anything like that.
Yeah, Sean, if you haven't already, and we can reach out to you in regards to this, we'll have you talk with our support and submit a log, and then we can look into that further as well and see what's going on. Yeah, support ticket. Cool. Any other questions?
Yeah, Sean, I don't know if you're in our Facebook group, but we have about 300 ISPs in that group. So if you wanted to get feedback from them as well, I'll drop the link. I'm not sure if you're in it.
Yeah, all of you guys feel free to join our Facebook group too if you want to get more information from other ISPs, or we do a lot of updates and information in there as well. Cool. If no one else has any other questions, we'll send out that go-to-market kit to you guys, send you a follow-up email if you need any other information. Feel free to send it our way. Thanks for the feedback, Chris. They also have 200 villas in the field, no reason to reboot. Good to hear. Cool. Yeah, I won't make you guys sit here in silence any longer listening to me. Thanks again for your attending, everyone. Always appreciate you guys showing up and supporting us. Like I said, we'll be in touch. Have a good rest of your day / almost weekend.